Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Box. I'm G.
And I'm May.
So today we're kind of going to recap my weekend, which all of you guys will see shortly too. I filmed as much as I could of the Bachelorette trip. This was a very interesting weekend, especially for myself, because this was my first Bachelorette, like a part of being like in a bridal party whatsoever. This is one of my first friends to ever get married. And so I'm going to kind of tell May the gist of it because there was so much in such like a short period of time. But let's kind of do like some story settings. So the bride decided that we were going to spend a couple days in Lake Chelan at Lake Chelan. And we got an Airbnb. There's 6 of us total. And May decided not to come because we needed a couple pet sitters. And our roommate's gone for this month, so she couldn't be here. And May just decided that she wanted to stay home.
To be clear, I'm also not in the wedding.
Yeah. And so it just didn't make sense for her to be joining us there, especially because one, like she said, she wasn't part of the group, and 2, why go if we need also a babysitter, you know?
Yeah.
And so she stayed here, but how it all started was the maid of honor and we drove up in a separate car, and that just alone, I think, was a relief because we didn't have to wait for anybody, and all the 4 other girls and the bride came up a little bit later. And what I didn't know and what Jessica didn't know was that the bride had a huge crash out, I guess, when people were arriving at her house. So that's what made it, like, they were 4 hours late.
What do you mean a crash out? Like, can you be more specific, or is it something we probably shouldn't talk about?
Like, legitimately, like, crashing out. Like a mental crash out. She was calling her mom, saying, like, the wedding's off. Like, she was literally, like, in a crash out, and all these girls are showing up, and she's in bed crying. And like her mom, who lives in Tacoma, was trying to find her way over to Edmonds, which is almost a good hour drive away. And then eventually I think the girls got her ready and they got into the car and whatnot. So that's what was taking so long. And that's when I called you when we were at the rest stop, because Jessica and I had to go early to set up the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And so we got there right at like 3:40, 3:50, and they were supposed to be there by 4. But clearly during the drive, we found out that they weren't even going to show up until 7 p.m. So we had a lot of time to just set up without having to stress about time.
Yeah.
And we even got dinner started, so that was fun. And then once everyone got there, we kind of just went right to dinner because we were having dinner at the house. And it was pasta with meatballs and salad and garlic bread.
Was it
drinks? It was really good.
Did you guys cook any of it, or was this all from Costco? I know you guys did like a Costco run to cover some of the meals that you guys weren't going to go out on.
Yeah.
But like, did you have to cook it yourself?
Yeah, we had pasta.
Well, yeah, but the meatballs, did they come already made?
Yeah, we got it at Safeway.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they had, like, the pre-rolled meatballs. We just kind of threw those on.
Yeah.
We added onions to it, so it made it even more, like, tasteful, I guess, or seasoned. But everyone got there. We had a really good dinner where we were just kind of chatting about the entire drive, and then also what was happening at the house during her crash out, because Jessica and I were like, what is happening? Like, what crash out are you talking about? And we also learned that Jessica and I are not the greatest people for crash outs. Like, do not call us. It was probably the best that the other girls were handling her.
Yeah.
Because Jessica and I knew for a fact that we would have been like, just get up, let's go. Like, we are on a time crunch. This is only a day and a half in Chelan. Let's make it worthwhile, you know?
And mind you, they didn't choose this weekend, or like they didn't choose I-5 to be northbound to be completely closed.
Oh, yeah.
It just happened on the same weekend. So if you live in Seattle or a big city, you know, when the main highway closes, everyone's fucked. It's traffic on traffic.
It really was.
All weekend long. Back roads were just backed up like no other. So for G and Jessica to leave early was a very good thing, because you left before they closed the highway.
Yeah.
Madisen didn't leave until after the freeways closed, and that's why it also took them like 5 hours, 6 hours to get there.
Yeah. So we had dinner, and then we kind of just ended up playing a lot of games like Jeopardy, like who knew the bride more. There was like a fiance versus fiance where Justin sent in videos or just had questions, and the fiance, so Justin had to send in videos of his answer, and then Madisen would tell us if he was correct or not.
How did that go?
It was actually hilarious. It was hilarious. But they're pretty much on the same scope of who's who and like who does what.
At least they're on the same page.
That was fun. And then we played another candy game where you get like a stick and you have to poke the candy, like they're peach rings, and you have to get a skewer in your mouth, and you have to like try and get it onto your skewer without touching it.
That's fun.
It's really funny. And then we did a hot dog game where you tie a hot dog around your waist and you dangle it and you try to like hip thrust it up into your mouth. That was really fun.
I've seen that one a few times.
I know.
Around.
And then we played like kind of Cards versus Humanity, but it was like it was like wedding themed, where it was just kind of funny. And then we ended up going to bed around midnight because everybody was really tired from the drive and no one wanted to go out. So we stayed in. And then we woke up on Saturday morning to such a shit show. Saturday was just crazy in its own. But without it, I don't think it would have been as fun or like stressful, I guess. But what happened was we all were planning to go out for brunch. And of course, when we're all ready and stuff, her car, the bride's car, just doesn't turn on. Just will not start. It will not, like, we even tried to jump start it from my car and it just would not even turn on. And so we ended up piling into my car, which could only hold like 4 of us, but 6 had to go. So we went to breakfast, hoping that when we came back.
You didn't put up the back seat?
There is no back seat. In the RAV, there is no back seat.
Are you sure?
Yes, I even looked for it. There is no back seat. It was only in the white Honda or in the Toyota. Yeah. Oh. There is no back seat in the RAV. We all get to breakfast. It was really good. It was Blueberry Farm. So I guess the maid of honor looked it up, and I guess in this, we stayed in Manson.
Yes.
And it was like one of the best like restaurants to go eat at for breakfast. And it was really good. I got an Eggs Benedict. And then all the other girls got their own stuff. But we all went back to the Airbnb hoping that AAA would be there and like helping us like restart it or tell us it was a small little like fix or whatnot. But clearly it had to do with some ignition, I guess. And so the car ended up having to be like, we were told it would have to be towed to Wenatchee.
All the way to Seattle?
Like if we even wanted a mechanic to see it, it had to be towed to Wenatchee, which is an hour and 10 minutes away from Chelan. And we were like, today we have so many things planned. Like we had winery set for at 1 p.m. and it was 11 when this was all coming down and crashing out. And so it was so funny. At one point, all 6 of us, the bride and then 5 of her party group, were all on separate phones talking to 5 different people, trying to figure out where can we take this car? When can it be towed? Do we need to go get a rental car? Where's the nearest rental place is in Wenatchee? Like there's nothing in Chelan. So if you ever get stuck in Chelan, you got to find your way to Wenatchee at that point.
I genuinely thought Lake Chelan was like kind of like Vashon for us, where there's a town, there's things.
There is a town and there is a like mechanic. We were even told from the mechanic that it wouldn't be fixed until Thursday. We were leaving Sunday, so we could not leave her car in Chelan.
Yeah.
And then it even got to the point where, like, do we just Uber all the way home, or, like, the 4 other girls Uber home because you don't have a car? Then we also found out on our cell phones that Enterprise, which was the nearest rental place, closes at 2 p.m. on Saturday and doesn't open on Sundays. It's just not open. So we were calling at 1:30. And the girl on the other side at Enterprise is like, you need to be here by 2 to pick up a car to rent. And we're like, we are over an hour away. That is not going to work.
Yeah.
And so then we had to call the bride's mom, and she was trying to figure it out on her end. We were calling her fiance because there was a chance that he had to go to Enterprise before 2 in Seattle, get a car, and drive his ass all the way to Chelan just to pick up the other girls for Sunday. And so all of this was happening, and we were all, I don't want to say crashing out, but like, we were so stressed because 4 of them had to get home. And
well, all of you had to get
I knew 2 of us could get home.
Yeah.
But 4 other people would have been stranded in Chelan, and we threw it on to her mother to kind of figure out, because her mom was like, this is your bachelorette trip. I don't want you guys to think about this anymore. You're there to have fun.
Yeah.
Just go to the wineries that you guys were doing and spend the day like you originally planned, because it was already inching into like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and we were supposed to go to wineries before 3. And so we eventually made it out. We were Ubering everywhere in Chelan. It wasn't too bad. And then we got a call from her mom saying that she somehow did her magic, found a mechanic in Chelan that could get the car towed to the repair center. It had the ignition, so it could be fixed. And then while we were out, it literally, like, AAA, we called them again to come check it again, and I guess it started. So we were stressing for hours for no apparent reason.
This doesn't sound like a fun, crazy/relaxed bachelorette weekend.
It was
It sounds like a stressful, chaotic, I want to die.
Well, I think, like,
weekend.
during it was stressful, but then once we found out that, like, the car was running, we didn't have to worry about it. So then after the wineries, we came home, we went to the lake and swam a little bit, and then we went to go grab dinner at not a drive-in, but like a burger place in Chelan. It was really good, but we were sitting in the dark for dinner. So that was fun, and then we went home, and everyone was exhausted from the day. So we all went to bed, and then we woke up on Sunday, and we originally planned to make breakfast at home, and then the maid of honor, Jessica, and I went out to go buy coffees for everyone before everyone woke up. Checkout was at 11 a.m., so we were pretty much waking up, having breakfast, and leaving because we needed to get home or check out. And then the bride asked if everyone could actually go to Leavenworth after we left the Airbnb, and because it's the bride, none of us would say no.
See, and that's where we're different. I would have said, no, I'm going home because I-5 northbound is completely shut down. So no matter what time you leave Chelan, you're going to hit traffic, and the longer you wait it out, it gets worse and worse.
Yeah. But that's where we're different, and so all of us went to Leavenworth for a couple hours. We walked around the town, went into shops. She wanted a brat from this specific place. I don't honestly remember the name of it, but it was somewhere. And everyone got food because they were hungry, because it was around like 3 p.m. that we got there. And then we eventually headed home. And like May said, because I-5 was closed, we went a different route, and we ended up getting home around 7 p.m. And just May came and not picked us up, but like dropped off Jessica's car, and you could just tell we were so tired.
And they looked wrecked. So wrecked to the point that she couldn't even finish the drive home.
No.
The very first thing she hopped out of the car and told me was, you're driving home. It wasn't, hi, how was your weekend? Hello, or whatever. It was, you're driving home.
Yeah, it was because I was driving since 11, and I had to deal with traffic in Stevens Pass and Gold Bar. Oh my God, there was a certain part where Jessica and I thought we could speed walk faster than the fucking cars.
Yeah, but while you guys were doing that, Madisen was stuck in Snoqualmie.
No, exactly. And then, like, because we each took different routes, we were racing, well, Jess and I were racing Madisen.
No, I was tracking you both to see, are you going to win or is she going to win? Which way is the quickest? But I kind of knew the route you took. you'd miss all of the I-5 that's closed.
Yeah.
And you were coming south. You weren't going north.
That was the point. But then I think because I stopped at Jessica's, and then once I got home, I checked her location, and she was at home. So we ended up just getting home at the same time, which is fine. We just, in the car, Jess and I were just like, I swear, if she makes it home before us, I'm going to lose it. It was a crazy fun weekend, and I think it was just leading up to the fact that, like, I didn't sleep a lot over the weekend. I was driving a lot, and then just the overall, like, you know, when you're around, like, people you don't know, you want to be energetic and excited and happy and whatever. My social battery just was low by Sunday, so I just really wanted to come home and just go to bed. Point blank. I told May that. I was like, I'm not eating dinner, I'm taking a shower, and I'm going to bed early. And I think I even did that last night too. Because I was just like so tired.
Did anyone like wake up with a hangover or anything? Like, did you guys actually have fun?
No, yeah.
Did you do anything other than just wineries?
We did a lot of wineries just because the bride wanted to do wineries.
Okay.
We were going to plan on going out after burgers, but the bride decided that she was actually too tired and didn't want to go out. So we saved money there and just went back to the Airbnb. But what did save us is having electrolytes, like LMT. We were shoving those down the bride's throat, even when she was throwing a fit because she didn't want it. But we were like, no, you're going to wake up feeling like trash, so you need to be drinking these.
Even though you aren't excessively drinking, all you did was do wine tasting.
Well, we were wine tasting, and then one of the bridesmaids got a double shot versus a single shot mixed up. So instead of putting 3 shots in a drink, she was putting 6 in a drink. And that's what kind of made the bride black out. She did black out.
I mean, that's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
At least you did something on the Bachelorette weekend.
And then she didn't, surprisingly, she woke up not hungover because she had so much electrolytes.
Good.
And so I think it was a successful trip. And it was just a bonding experience for all of us because we were all like muting ourselves on our phone calls just to scream or laugh at each other.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun. All the girls had a lot of fun. And even though we didn't do a lot of activities, I still feel like just being together was fun.
Well, my weekend was pretty boring. I woke up around 7:30 every single morning, Saturday, Sunday. Fed the dogs, hung out with the dogs, went outside with Minnie for a while.
Yeah.
But you know what the one thing I realized was, and I even went over and told Dad?
What?
I don't know how people are single children. Because I was so bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
Not having a single person here.
Yeah.
Eric, what do I do? Who do I talk to? I got bored of reading. I got bored of watching TV. I started talking to the dogs, but it's not like they can listen.
Just think of how I felt when you were gone in Wyoming and I was here by myself without Anna.
Yeah, like I was
for 4 days.
Like I feel so bad for single children.
Only children, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like boring. That's all I can think of. But it's coming from someone who has grown up with siblings all their life. And nonetheless a twin. Yeah. So it was weird to like fully be alone.
It was crazy.
Because the last time I was alone with the dogs, Anna was here. So like I at least had someone to talk to if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I could live by myself. I genuinely don't think I could live by myself.
I think I could. I just would need to know that you could pick up my FaceTime whenever.
Yeah. But that was my weekend and the thing I learned. But I'm glad you had fun. I held down the fort. Nothing burned down. Yeah. Dog stood well. Minnie is still alive. I think it was a successful weekend on both ends.
I do too. And now we're gearing up for the bridal shower, which is this weekend. And then we leave for Thailand next week. So it's just, there was so much at the end of this month that I didn't realize. And now it's all here, and I'm just like, wait, where did the time go? Because I swear to God I was ready, and I'm not.
So. July went by like that.
Yeah. In August, once we get back, August is pretty much going to be over.
it's halfway over.
Or at least, like, yeah. So that's just crazy. And I'm just excited because we were talking about it and they were like, so the bachelorette trip's done, the bridal shower's next week. Wedding is literally September 6th, which means in August, it's literally right there. And we're like coming back around for another weekend, which hopefully will be less stressful. I know it probably won't be because it's a wedding, but I feel prepared-ish. The girls are very much together. Like, you can make fun of any situation, I feel, with everyone in the group. So overall, it was a really fun weekend, but we're all exhausted and tired, and now saving our energy for this weekend and then for the wedding, and then it will be done. So
yeah, I cannot wait for it to be done.
Yeah. But that was pretty much how my bachelorette trip weekend went with the girls. Stay tuned for a vlog. I did film it, so we will get it out there as soon as we can. So that is going to be the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, keep on listening, keep on loving, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!